A woman got a phone call from someone who was very worried about a mother cat and her baby kitten that needed help. The person said they found both animals lying under the hot sun and they looked very sick. The woman knew this was a serious emergency because hot weather can be deadly for cats and other pets. She quickly picked up her special rescue bag that had all the supplies she needed to help sick animals and went to find the cats right away. When the woman arrived at the place where the cats were found, she felt sad to see how bad their condition was. The little kitten was trying to move around but looked very weak and tired. It was making soft crying sounds and trying to stay close to its mother. The mother cat was lying on the burning hot ground and was not moving at all. Her breathing was very slow and shallow, which meant she was in serious trouble from the heat. The woman could tell right away that the mother cat had heat stroke, which is a very dangerous condition that can kill animals if they do not get help quickly. The woman started working immediately to save both cats. She knelt down next to the mother cat and checked her carefully to see how sick she was. The mother cat's body felt much too hot to touch, and her tongue was hanging out of her mouth. These were clear signs that the heat had made her extremely ill. The woman opened her rescue bag and took out special cooling medicine that helps bring down body temperature in overheated animals. She gave this medicine to the mother cat very carefully because the dose had to be just right. Next, the woman took out clean, wet cloths from her bag and began gently cooling the mother cat's body. She had to be very careful not to cool her down too fast because that could shock her system and make things worse. She placed the cool cloths on the mother cat's head, neck, and paws where the blood vessels are close to the skin. This helps cool the blood as it flows through the body. The woman also poured small amounts of cool water on the cat's fur, but made sure not to use ice-cold water. While she was treating the mother cat, the woman also kept checking on the little kitten. The kitten was clearly scared and confused about what was happening to its mother. It kept trying to get close to the mother cat and was crying softly. The woman could see that the kitten was also affected by the hot weather, but was not as sick as its mother. She gently moved the kitten to a shaded area where it would be cooler and safer, while she continued working on the mother cat. The woman spent a long time giving emergency care to both cats at the location where they were found. She continued to monitor the mother cat's breathing and temperature while applying the cooling treatment. Slowly, the mother cat's breathing began to get a little bit better and her body temperature started to come down. This was a good sign that the emergency treatment was working, but the woman knew that both cats still needed more medical care at her animal clinic where she had better equipment and supplies. Very carefully, the woman lifted the mother cat and placed her gently in a soft carrier lined with clean blankets. The carrier was designed to keep animals comfortable and safe during transport. She also picked up the little kitten and placed it in the same carrier so it could stay close to its mother. The woman made sure both cats were secure and comfortable before taking them to her clinic for more treatment. At her animal clinic, the woman had all the equipment she needed to provide serious medical care for the sick cats. She immediately set up an area where she could monitor the mother cat closely and give her more intensive treatment. The mother cat was still unconscious and very weak from her heat stroke experience. The woman connected a small tube called an IV line to give fluids directly into the cat's bloodstream. This was very important because animals with heat stroke lose a lot of water from their bodies and become dangerously dehydrated. The special fluids that went through the IV line contained not just water but also important minerals called electrolytes that the cat's body needed to function properly. The woman had to calculate exactly how much fluid to give based on the cat's weight and condition. Too little fluid would not help enough, but too much could cause other problems. She also continued to monitor the cat's heart rate and breathing to make sure these vital signs were getting better. The woman set up a comfortable area for the little kitten near its mother so they could see each other, but the kitten would not interfere with the medical treatment. The kitten was hungry and needed proper nutrition to stay healthy. The woman prepared special kitten milk formula using powder and warm water. Regular cow's milk is not good for cats because it can make them sick, so special cat milk formula is much better for them. She used a small feeding bottle with a tiny nipple that was the right size for a baby kitten's mouth. Feeding the kitten took patience and care. The woman had to hold the kitten gently and let it drink at its own pace. She made sure the milk was warm but not too hot, and she tested the temperature on her wrist just like people do when feeding human babies. The hungry kitten drank the milk eagerly and seemed to feel better after eating. The woman fed the kitten several small meals throughout the day because baby animals need to eat more often than adult animals. As the hours passed, the woman continued to care for both cats and watched for signs of improvement. The mother cat slowly began to respond to the treatment. Her breathing became deeper and more regular, and her body temperature continued to come down to a normal level. By the end of the first day, the mother cat was able to open her eyes and lift her head slightly. This was a very good sign that she was starting to recover from the heat stroke. The little kitten also showed improvement as it got proper food and care. It became more active and alert, and even started to explore its surroundings a little bit. The kitten's natural curiosity and playfulness began to return, which showed that it was feeling much better. The woman was happy to see both cats responding well to treatment, but she knew they would need several more days of care before they would be completely healthy. During the second day, the mother cat was able to drink small amounts of water on her own. This was another important step in her recovery because it meant her body was starting to function normally again. The woman offered her small amounts of soft, easy-to-digest food, and the mother cat was able to eat a little bit. She also began to show more awareness of her surroundings and seemed to recognize her kitten when it came near her. Over the next few days, both cats continued to get stronger and healthier. The mother cat was able to stand up and walk around, and her appetite returned. She began eating regular cat food and drinking water normally. The kitten grew more playful and energetic each day and started trying small pieces of soft kitten food in addition to the milk formula. The woman gradually reduced the amount of medical support as the cats recovered their strength. This rescue case taught important lessons about how dangerous hot weather can be for animals. Heat stroke is one of the most serious emergencies that pets can face during summer months. It happens when an animal's body temperature gets too high and their natural cooling systems cannot bring it back down. Unlike humans who can sweat all over their bodies to cool down, cats and dogs can only cool themselves by panting and through small sweat glands in their paw pads. When people find animals suffering from heat stroke, the most important thing is to get professional help as quickly as possible. They should call their local animal hospital, emergency vet clinic, or animal control office right away. While waiting for help to arrive, they can try to cool the animal down, but must be very careful not to use ice or extremely cold water, because this can cause shock and make the situation worse. The best way to cool an overheated animal is to move them to a shaded, cool area and use lukewarm water to wet their fur. Cool, wet towels can be placed on their head, neck, and paw pads. Fans can help with air circulation if available. It is important not to cover the animal completely with wet towels because this can trap heat instead of releasing it. Small amounts of cool water can be offered if the animal is conscious and able to drink, but food should not be given until the animal has recovered. The woman in this rescue story was able to save both cats because she knew what to do and acted quickly. She had prepared herself by learning about animal emergencies and keeping proper supplies ready. Her rescue bag contained cooling medicine, IV fluids, feeding supplies, and other emergency equipment that made the difference between life and death for these cats. After a week of careful treatment and recovery, both cats were healthy and ready for new homes. The woman worked with local animal adoption organizations to find a family who wanted to adopt both cats together. This was important because the mother and kitten had formed a strong bond and would be happier staying together. The new family received education about proper cat care, including nutrition, medical needs, and safety precautions. The successful rescue of these cats shows how much difference one caring person can make in the lives of animals. Every animal deserves to live without suffering and to have a safe, loving home. When we see animals in trouble, we have the opportunity to be heroes and save lives. Sometimes all it takes is knowing what to do and being willing to take action to turn a tragedy into a happy ending.